We start this half hour with a closer look at the top political headlines this week. Joining us are Deputy Political Director Averi Harper and ABC News White House correspondent MaryAlice Parks. Ladies, it is so great to have you here as always. All right, Averi, let's start with you. The dissent within the GOP. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia filed a motion to vacate the Speaker's chair, threatening to oust Speaker Mike Johnson, just like we did, months ago with Kevin McCarthy. How serious of a challenge is this to his power?
It is a challenge. Right now, it's unclear if Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene has the support within the Republican conference to oust Speaker Johnson. It's also unclear what Democrats would do if this comes up to a vote. So, yes, it's a real challenge to his leadership, and he is going to try and avoid the same fate of his predecessor, Kevin McCarthy, who was ousted in similar circumstances when he worked across the aisle to pass a government funding bill. Whatever happens in this case, it's going to take a bit of time because the House just went on a 2-week recess.
And MaryAlice, another big story this week, Antony Blinken in the Middle East. We know that officials from Israel are going to come to the United States, come to Washington next week. Still major differences on the way forward, and Netanyahu insists that he is going into Rafah with or without U.S. support.
Yeah, this is becoming a really big deal. I mean, for weeks, the White House at every single level, publicly, from the podium, in person there in Israel, the Secretary of State, and behind closed doors, with the president making phone calls to Israel. At every single level, they have pleaded, essentially, with Israel to not go forward with a ground invasion into Rafah. They have said it would be a mistake, a disaster. I mean, we are talking about over 1 million people that have taken refuge there in this southern city of Gaza. They had to flee other parts of Gaza, and they are there. And the U.S. is worried that there's absolutely no way to do a major ground operation and keep people safe. So we pressed the White House. I pressed the White House National Security spokesperson, John Kirby, on this yesterday and asked plainly, I mean, has the president lost his sway? It doesn't seem like they've been able to convince Israel to change course. Now, Kirby talked again about the fact that Israel is sending this delegation on Monday, so obviously huge stakes for those meetings next week. This is sort of a last-ditch effort for the United States to try to get Israel to do something different, because if they don't, it raises real questions about what happens next. I mean, how does the U.S. continue to defend sending aid if Israel is doing something the U.S. is so clearly asking them not to do?
Now, Averi, the president was out on the campaign trail. He was out west in states including Nevada, Texas, Arizona. What is the significance of President Biden campaigning in those states?
Right. This was a part of some of the travel that we've seen the president doing since the State of the Union address to battleground states. And this trip in particular, there was an emphasis on outreach to Latino voters. President Biden has said that Latino voters are a really big part, an essential part of his reelection path. And we know that Republicans have made inroads with the Latino community during midterms. And so this was a real effort to sort of shore up the support within a key part of the Biden coalition.
And look, we're hitting all three branches of power this morning, because MaryAlice, the Supreme Court, yes, is set to hear oral arguments Tuesday in the battle over access to the abortion pill. How significant is this?
The stakes are huge. I mean, this is the first big abortion case in front of the Supreme Court since the fall of Roe v. Wade. And we are talking about the fact that over half of abortions in America are from the pill. I mean, people use mifepristone across the country, and now access to that abortion pill could really be jeopardized. And remember, if the court really changes the FDA approval of this pill, it would impact women's ability to get this pill, even in states where access to the abortion pill is still legal. So it really gets to sort of the magnitude of this case. And a lot of experts talking about the fact that this is really one of the first times the Supreme Court is potentially second-guessing the FDA's approval of any drug. So really potentially huge lasting implications here.
Definitely something to watch there. MaryAlice Parks, Averi Harper, always a pleasure. Thanks to you both this morning.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.